Hello, YouTube. This is Don Freeman coming to you again. Uh, it's March 18th, 2023, and we had another crazy day in the stock market. Um, I kind of felt it coming. There was a whole bunch of backlash from all the banks trying to pull back, and once again, we had a Swiss bank try to go down. It's called Credit Suisse, and it was crazy because what happened is they've been going down. They've been, poorly managed, and then, they've been looking for people to invest in them. And so, out of the blue, they try to tell everybody, hey, we're going to have the Saudi Arabians investing into us. And then Saudi Arabia came out and said, not us. So I thought that was crazy. And then the central bank in Sweden went ahead and told them that they'll kind of do some of the similar things that we're doing here in the United States to prop them up and ensure everybody's deposits are safe. Um, so I was thinking about how that is, and luckily for me, money I do keep in the bank is kept in a credit union. It's one of the bigger ones in the area, Right Pack Credit Union. Uh, Kind of started out in the Dayton area to be a credit union for servicemen at Wright Pat Air Force Base, and then it kind of became, entrenched in the businesses in and around Dayton, and also Wright State University, and so being that it's a credit union, credit unions are pretty much owned by the people who keep their deposits there. Uh, you know, Whenever there's some voting that goes on what the bank wants to do, sent out to all the holding, people who have deposits in the bank, and so that's something that kind of helps a credit union not go through some of the same things that some of these regional banks would go through when it comes to you know uh, getting hit with all these different bad investments. You got these people who are supposed to be financial geniuses, and so like what happened with the Silicon Valley Bank. Um, you know, all their techno guys who are keeping their money in their bank, are dealing in Bitcoin, and then when Bitcoin crashes, they want to take their money out. They don't realize, Silicon Valley Bank put a large amount of their money into treasury bonds, which is not a bad investment, but treasury bonds take time to mature. So, if you look at the math, the guy said, I want my money right now. They had to sell the treasury bonds at a loss. And, that's something to think about when you're in any bank. There was a time that I was at a National City. And National City, I think, turned into, I want to say Key Bank for a while. But in general, after a while, I said, I'm just going to keep my money in the credit union. And credit unions have a lot more benefits to their customers. It's a lot easier to get different types of loans. You know, Especially if you already have your money deposited. It's not a big deal for them. Like when I got my car loan, I almost had all the money right then and there. But I said, I'm not going to just drop a whole lump sum on a car right now. It'd be smarter to pay as I go. And with the interest rates at the time, uh, for a car that cost me $5,000, I think I only paid another extra $500. And then out of the blue, that's when we had this COVID thing happen, and all of a sudden, the big car companies couldn't get microchips. They, couldn't sell cars. All the lots couldn't sell cars right now. And then, boom, out the blue, used cars prices went up. So I kind of missed that. whole debacle, that would have been bad for me because I probably would have ended up paying maybe another 1,500 for the car I have right now. So you got to make good decisions, either if it's in your business, in your personal life. Um, I wanted to get into what I had done in the stock market this week. Uh, I did a little more buying of some of my stocks that are due for the upcoming weeks of dividends. Um, One of the stocks I bought, EFAS, is it's an international ETF based mostly in stocks that are in Europe, and so it has a nice dividend. I decided, I'll put a lot more money into that this week and boost that dividend. And then, a lot of stocks went down. There's only probably one day this week where stocks went up, but that's not a big deal to me because I'm looking to boost the amount of shares I have. And in order to do that, it always works out if the stocks are cheaper and they go on sale. So, I was happy to, put my money into that stock this week. And then I was reading up again in my book back here, Investing Dividends. And I was reading in chapter 2 where they were talking about historically, the stock market may have had like growth of around 9.5% since the last major stock crash in the 20s and 20s or 30s. And so one thing about that is almost 40% of that is growth in the from the dividends. So when you're somebody who's looking to invest and build a nest egg, build money that could be a passive income, having the dividends and reinvesting the dividends really boosts what you're doing versus, if you were to just buy into growth stocks, well, if you're looking at 40% of 9.5%, then if you're only doing growth stocks, then you're only looking at about 5.5% growth over those, that time period. And so, certainly you have years that are up, years that are down, but all in all, I'm looking to have my money, kind of match what, historically what's going on. So, I'm always happy to, when I see that declaration of the dividend come up, say, okay, now I have a little bit more to reinvest, and then find out, which one do I have time for my next declaration date to put money into so that I boost that dividend. Um, I was thinking about how I got a lot of friends who were asking me, what vehicles or what sectors do they want to get into, and have one friend who he was looking at wanting to get into the EV space. EVs being electric vehicles, and of course, electric vehicles, the whole space has a big uh, kind of industry around it. When you talk about, um, uh, you got your batteries, you got rare earth metals, your lithiums and cadmium and all kind of other metals, copper, and then you have certainly the charging space. A lot of companies out there who some of the guys online are talking about, like ChargePoint, and there's a couple other ones. But being into the charging stations, which the way America is right now, there's definitely going to be a need for having more and more charging spaces. Uh, Certainly, if you're up on your times, uh, the government has made it a mandate to start phasing out uh, gas-powered engines, and they want, by the 2030s, for everybody, every car sold to be an electrical vehicle. So that's certainly a space that one of my friends were looking to get into. I would tell him though that certainly you want to look if you can find. I don't think there's a lot of them, but if you can find a electric vehicle company that pays a dividend, that's one thing that I would look for. Um, One thing I was looking at when I was reading the book back here is that uh, companies that have a dividend are looked at or are really looked at as being a safer company. Um, if you have a company that pays a dividend, um, it's hard to, defraud, the system that way because to pay a dividend, you got to have cash on hand. You got to have cold hard cash in your business account. So if you don't have the cash in your business account and you're trying to fake it, move cash from here to there, around your business, rob Peter to pay Paul, you have all your debt liabilities coming up that you still want to pay your shareholders and make everybody think everything's funky dory. Well, that's not going to work. Um, One thing that you should look at is, uh, if you're able to find out a company's financials, you know, you want to look at how much cash they got coming in, how much liabilities do they have, are they paying on? Um, that's a good indicator of if your company that you're looking into is profitable. You know, having a profitable company is what you're going to have um, in order to, continue having a good outlook on the company that you want to invest in. Um, Going back on what I was saying on my last video about dividends um, coming up, I have a couple companies that right after they pay your dividend 1 month, within a couple of days they declare again what their next dividend was going to be. So I got two of my dividend stocks are already on the books, looking to pay me, several dollars. And then I had another one, which luckily for me, the dividend date, ex-dividend date, and the declaration date worked out because I just started buying into it, and it was another real estate REIT, which I found was really good because a lot of mine are into the mortgage back space, where most of the money they generate is through investing in mortgages, whereas this one is more of having ownership of the properties, which is what you want to look for too. A lot of the guys online talk about some of these other ones, which maybe own the hospital properties, maybe they own the properties for like Amazon or the warehousing. Some real estate REITs own properties like storage facilities or data storage facilities, which could be good. But again, for me, the whole tech service area is a really volatile area. So I definitely wouldn't want to get into data storage because, data storage right now is up and down. For instance, my business that I work for, AirTrim, have recently went to most of their stuff being on the cloud, which of course there's going to be data storage facilities somewhere which covers that. But you got to look at the future. Where's the future going to? And times change. There may never be another need for data storage facilities in the same capacity. And so that's one thing you want to look at when you're looking at an industry. Where's that industry's outlook? Where is it going to go from here? And there was also a lot of talk about the strength of utilities. At one point, I was into a utility stock for electricity. and that was a electric company out of Canada, and I think the stock was called Vermilion. But I got, like, of course, like I was saying, when I had gotten sick last year from my last video, that was another one where I just went ahead and wiped that one out and used the money to pay on some of my bills. But of course, that's another one that I'm looking to get back into. Um, a lot of guys talk about the strength of, the gas industry, oil, and all the lights, and of course, which is a really good industry. There's a lot of money into the master limited partnerships. Any company that you would see that has a limited partnership, they make money in two ways. A lot of times in the energy space, they make money by providing the transmission of the energy, whether it's like power lines, pipelines, trucking for that service, and then tankers, the facilities, even tankers going across seas, which can be lucrative. But at the end of the year, when it comes to doing your taxes and you're reporting your taxes for your stocks, you have another form, and it usually comes in really late in the year, into the tax season, where you have to pay, you have to fill out, I think it's a K-9 form or something like that. And so that's just like a little added tax work that you have to do. But of course, like I was saying, the master limited partnerships make money through the transmission, but then they also have investment in the oil companies. So they have part ownership, and then they're kind of doing what I would call like side work or side business for the industry. And so it's a very profitable thing. And a lot of people will put master limited partnerships into their stock portfolio. So those are a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Got a friend of mine trying to call me, and so I'm not going to hold you guys up too long. Had a great time here talking to you a little bit about, the stock market, how the week's been. It's been very, very much all about the financials. People are, wondering, what's going to be up with their bank accounts. And one thing I would say is, of course you want to have cash on hand that you can get to easily, but beyond that, and like any other investor would tell you, you want to keep a good portion of your money invested and working for you. So if you like this content, again, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, comment if you have any questions, and I'll look through the comments, and if I can, anything I can answer, I'll answer and give you an answer to. So I'll see you guys in the next one.